first of all, why would you want to get rid of attachment, anger, jealousy, pride, low self-esteem and all the nonsense? Why? Because guess what? For Buddha, that's the source, the main source of our suffering. And therefore, indeed, on the basis of which we then make a mess of others, harm others. And he has found from his own direct experience, that this can be removed from the mind. It's adventitious. That's what they say in Buddhist psychology. But this is the words are pretty simple, but this is the hardest job we'll ever do. Because they're completely mixed together like a big soup. Not just a kind of a general soup, all the negative ones mixing around with the positive ones, but it's like a pureed soup. It's almost impossible initially to see the difference between, for example, attachment and love. So what's attachment and what's love? Get your definitions first. Well, love is under the positive heading. It's a valid state of mind in Buddhism roughly means a cognition that's in sync with its object, It's a relatively reasonable cognition. So love, kindness, generosity, forgiveness, these are valid states of mind. And they're valid maybe because they're rooted in interdependent arising, reality. There's a sense of connectedness. When you've got virtue more prevailing in your mind, you're connected to others, aren't you? There's a sense of connectedness, a sense of interdependence. But check when you've got attachment and anger and fears and jealousy and depression prevailing. There's a vivid sense, isn't there, of being separate, bereft, separate, and you're living in la-la land, Buddha says. So these neurotic states of mind, they've got two functions, you could say. One is that they're disturbing. We can call them disturbing emotions. This is pretty evident. Check the last time you're anxious, depressed, angry. It was horrible. You know it. That's fairly evident. But the other one, this is the tricky one. This is the one this is not how we talk in our culture psychologically. But if we get this point, we understand Buddhist psychology and we understand what Buddhist practice is, and we understand, therefore, how to begin to recognize and distinguish between the neuroses and the virtues. And this is a word in English which is great. I've noticed in other languages it's a bit arcane, but in English it's perfect. They are delusions. So the extent to which you're caught up in, attachment, for example, anger, we'll go through them. There's 84,000 actually, but luckily Buddha subsumes them all to 3, which is most handy. The 3 poisons, as we know, the 3 toxic emotions. So they mainly function to cause us to not be in sync with reality. It's a really good way to put it. The more there's attachment prevailing, the more you're living in la-la land, the less you're in touch with reality, and the more you're disturbed. So understanding these functions is necessary if we want to do the job that Buddha says, which is lessen these states of mind and grow the virtues. This is the actual job of being a Buddhist,